Hey guys, what's up? I have my beautiful friend Jenna here. We're going to be doing a little fun tutorial. Something that I haven't really seen people talk about, which was a wonderful suggestion on her part, was the difference between doing makeup on yourself and doing makeup on a client or talent. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today for those people that are like, I want to be a makeup artist, I want to do this, but once you kind of start working on someone's face, you're like, oh wow, this is daunting, this is crazy, this is very different from what I'm used to. So I'm gonna share how to navigate somebody else's face when they have different eye shapes, different face shapes, different skin textures, tones, etc., etc. So let's get into it. I'm gonna start by prepping her skin, of course. I can't believe how fast it is. It is 4 o'clock. Do you know that it's 4 o'clock?
That's crazy.
Did you know that it was 4 o'clock?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But every day it's either 9 o'clock or it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, there's no in between.
Yeah.
So when starting with a client, something that I didn't touch on was, first thing you want to ask them is, do they have any skin allergies? Is there anything that they're allergic to that they can't have put on their face, because you don't want to go in and put something on their face and their face freaks out. Second of all, then you want to assess your client's skin type, their complexion, so whether they're oily, dry, whatever, then you can kind of go in and figure out what products are right to use for them. So for her, she's kind of on like the normal skin side, so I just use like a hydrating primer because hydrated skin always looks good. It's always in style. And then now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of foundation. So when working with someone's undertone, you always want to check their chest, their body, the colors of their veins. You've probably heard this before, but blue veins usually mean cool tone, and green veins usually mean they're like on the warm tone side. You could be looking at someone's skin in like a really warm light and say, oh, that shade matches them, and then they like go out in the natural light and you're like, whoa, doesn't match.
And we've all been there.
We've all been there.
I still am there. I think I was there like 3 days ago.
Another tip that I have learned is don't forget to put foundation on the ears as well. A lot of people forget that. Because if you have like a nice even base, then you have, you know, red ears or whatever color is going on with that person's ears, it's gonna show. So always just touch the ears with a little bit of foundation, like I'm gonna do here.
Sometimes you get those crazy colored ears.
You never know. I mean, like I'm doing here.
The sound of a brush on your ear.
Is that nice?
It's like nice, but in a way triggering. It reminds me of getting live casted. When like something is, when you're like inside of it and they're like doing your ear part and you're like, oh, okay, that feels,
Like that feels nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to concealer. Since these are her components, I can put them straight on her face. But as an artist, if you have this type of doe foot applicator or something that could easily be contaminated, please put the product on either the back of your hand if it is clean or on a palette. I am gonna highlight, oh, hello!
No, oh my god, why does our TV do this? It just started playing!
Yeah, a little bit, but it's fine, it is what it is. I'm gonna be highlighting the center of her face with concealer, the forehead, the bridge of the nose, a little bit here. What?
I thought you were gonna put it in my mouth.
You thought I was gonna put the concealer in your mouth?
I thought it was gonna go in my mouth. It didn't.
It didn't.
Whatever gets the job done. God, really? I was like,
Jenna.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god, I would never. And it's
I'm
not
sweating.
big.
Why am I nervous?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Tip when you're doing someone's makeup and you're going in and you want them to sit still. I see all the time people put like their hands on people's heads. Why would you do that? Release your hand and just
That's my favorite thing.
do the makeup.
Release your hand. I love
Like,
watching people do makeup and they have like
hold
a
people's
death
heads.
grip on someone's head, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's
like,
happening here?
What's happening here? If you want to do eyeshadow and you want to lift someone's brow bone so that you can smooth out their eyelids, so you can blend their eyeshadow, that's totally fine. I'm gonna go in with a cream contour. This is just an Anastasia foundation stick. I'm gonna put it on the back of my wrist right now just to warm up the product. I'm also using a nice little synthetic doe brush. I'm gonna start with the jaw. Have you turn a little bit more towards me. I'm gonna start with the jaw. From behind the ear, you wanna come all the way down because their jaw doesn't just stop here, it continues. So please blend that all the way behind the ear.
Please just blend behind the ear.
Please. So when contouring her cheeks, I'm just gonna pretty much start from the top of the ear. I'm only gonna bring it to about, turn this way. I'm only gonna bring it to about here. No further. You don't need to.
No further.
No further.
Don't you dare go any further.
Don't you dare. Hopefully the boom didn't get that. One really important thing when you're doing someone's makeup is, yes, you are really up close to their face, but you need to remember to take a step back so that you could see the makeup in a different perspective, because there might be something that I didn't really catch when I'm like up close. I need to be able to see that everything looks how I want it to. Is everything blended? Is the tone right? Is the color right? Is the contour right? How does she look? So I'm gonna take a step back, look at her face, and then continue. And you wanna do that periodically while you do the makeup. Now that I've done all of the cream and liquid products, I'm gonna start to go in with powder products. So I'm just gonna lightly set the rest of her face. Again, like I said in my last video, my favorite contouring tool for powder has been a fan brush lately, something of this size, because it really just, it does all the work for you. I don't know what else to say about it. It just does. Since I went in and contoured and highlighted the rest of her face, I don't want to forget about her nose. I did do a little dusting over her nose, but I'm going to take a small little brush and just kind of go down the sides. I'm not altering the shape of her nose, I'm just adding dimension, because her nose will look flat if I don't, you know, add a little bit of dimension like I did to the rest of her face. So yeah. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of blush. So Jenna does have a little bit of rosacea, so I'm not gonna go too heavy with the blush, just a little bit to add some life into it, but she doesn't need a ton, so we'll just do a little hint. When someone does have rosacea, I like to keep it up here rather than really going on the apples of the cheeks, because that just accentuates it some more. I'm now going to prime her eyelid for eyeshadow. I'm going to do kind of like a nice natural bronzy eye, so just a nice light base to cover any discoloration. I usually like MAC paint pots for this. I'm gonna go in, I have this like nice neutral palette from MAC that's in my kit, so I'm just gonna go in with this. Just gonna take a fluffy crease brush with some nice like brown tones. I'm gonna follow the shape of her eye and pull it out just a bit. She has like Jenna has really nice, beautiful blue round eyes, and they're so big and bright, so we want to obviously complement them. So I'm going to use warmer tones because on the color wheel, orange and blue are opposite of each other, so they complement and contrast each other so that they both pop. So that's what we're going to do. Ah, yes. Remember to always tap off the excess. That's why I wear rings when I work. They're really easy. Rather than tapping on a palette, I tap on the back of my rings, but it's like my thing. One thing I was gonna say, if a person has a certain eye shape and it's harder to find a defined crease, maybe they have more of like a mono lid or a hooded eyelid. Sorry. rather than having them close, have the client or the talent look down so that you can easily just kind of like get in that crease area and find that crease, rather than when it's closed, it's a little harder because that surface is flat. Whisper.
It's like not even
Whisper it to me.
It's not even that big of a
Whisper.
deal.
So I finished defining her crease. I'm just going to keep it natural. Now we're going to do like a smoky brown liner. I'm going to take a liner brush and honestly just some brown shadows. I'm not going to use any like liquid or like gel products because eyeshadow is just easier and you can create the same effect and it's just easier. If your client is more comfortable curling their own lashes, let them do it if they've never done it before, or if they're more comfortable having you do it, go ahead and do it. But I think if they're capable, let them do it because they can get closer to the base and get a better curl. So going to highlight Jenna's little cheekbones. Turn this way. You want to find the light, so have the client turn their face to where the light hits so you can apply that highlighter. Eyes are done. I'm going to apply these little small lashes. I find that tweezers work best for me. I just have more control. Some people like to use their fingers, but whatever works for you. So now I'm gonna do Jenna's brows. I'm gonna use my favorite brow product, a pomade, just with like a nice little angled brush and a spoolie. Gonna brush through her brows first. Then dip in the pomade, kind of wipe off the excess and do small little hair-like strokes. I'm not like doing a whole block brow. We want to keep it natural and fluffy. I am pretty much finished with the rest of the face. I'm just gonna apply a little lipstick and gloss, and that's done with our little natural look. Perfect. Just a little gloss. So we finished the look. Just a nice, simple, natural look for a client. I hope you got some tips and tricks from me about how to, you know, apply makeup to other people rather than just yourself. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I have some really fun ideas coming up for future videos, so stay tuned. And yeah, thank you again for watching. Bye!